Welcome back, innovators. And I know it's been some time since we did the last one, at least pre-recording wise. I know during this pre-recording I got some breakfast over there, so with that in mind, let's get right into this video reaction and this money mistake that is keeping 90% of Americans poor by a minority mindset. With that in mind, it's going to be a very interesting one. It won't be the the retarded one that we just talked about last time. This time it's about finances, and it's something very, very important that all of us should keep in mind. With that in mind, let's get right into this.
The average person believes now that the 401k is all I need to be able to retire. I own a house, have a 401k, I'll get Social Security, it's enough to retire. That was never the intention with the 401k. It was there to supplement your retirement. It's not bad to have a 401k, but you have to know how it works. The second thing is the average person has no idea what the 401k is costing them because your 401k has a fee. NerdWallet did a study. They found that like 90% of Americans don't know what the 401k fees are. It's called an expense ratio. So as soon as you open up the 401k, you get the money deposited into it. The fund that you put your money into is charging you a fee every single year. And the average 401k fee, according to a Kiplinger report in 2025, for somebody under $1 million in assets is 1.26%
a year.
Now, that might not sound like a lot.
Over 30 years.
Over 30 years, that could end up costing you hundreds of thousands of dollars because it's a 1% fee that you pay every year on every dollar that you invest, plus every dollar of profit over the course of your investing career. And so you have to understand now, you need more money to retire. Why? Because the cost of living is going up. A lot of people used to say, man, if I had $1 million, man, I'm set. Nowadays, that $1 million doesn't buy you what it could. USA Today says Americans need $1.5 million to retire now. Not lavish, comfortable retirement. Well, the average person is nowhere near hitting that $1 million or $1.5 million. And now we get into this problem of, okay, I had the 401k. I'm not going to have enough. Social Security is not paying enough. Maybe my house is going to supplement that and I'm going to be good. Well, hate to break it to you, Lewis, but your house is not going to put food on the table because it doesn't pay you an income.
It's an expense.
It's an expense.
Property tax, fixing stuff, all the expenses.
The insurance.
Everything, man. It's expensive.
And now they say, well, what if I pay off my house? Okay, great. You paid off the house, but now you still got the property taxes and the insurance. And let's say, Lewis, you bought your house in a great area. Well, let's say you bought a $500,000 house. You bought it in a great area. Now it goes up to $1 million. You're going to say, Jaspreet, look at me. I got a $1 million asset I'm sitting on. Good. I'm happy for you. Now you have to pay property taxes on $1 million house because if your house goes up in value, so do your property taxes every year. You have to now insure $1 million house.
Yeah.
And now what happens is maybe you have an income from your job to keep paying that, but what if you stop working? Maybe you retire, maybe you can't work, you still have to pay these expenses. Or maybe now you built this house, you paid it off, you were able to support the cost, and now you pass it down to your kids. Well, now your kids have to pay to support this $1 million house. And why do now so many of these kids have to liquidate the house and sell it? Because they can't afford the cost of just keeping the house. So now we think that buying this house is going to make us wealthy, when in reality, that's not always true. Now, I'm not saying it's bad to own a house. I'm not saying you shouldn't own a house. In fact, it's a very good thing to own a house and pay it off. But the mistake that many people make is they think, Jaspreet, I'm going to get a good job, invest in my 401k and buy a house and I'm going to be set. When you have that sort of mindset, you're thinking like everybody else. And right now, America is facing the largest retirement crisis of history because everybody thought if I got a good job, I invested in my 401k and I owned a house, I'm going to be set. Just do the math. If those are the people now that are facing this retirement crisis, what makes you think that it's going to be easier for you when we have a more volatile stock market, where inflation is a bigger problem now than it was for the previous generation? What makes you think that all of a sudden it's going to be easier for you? They say the definition of insanity is doing the same thing and expecting a different result. Well, here you are. And so when we think about the house, I'm going to talk about one more thing about it, because then people will say, well, Jaspreet, if I have to pay $3,000 a month, isn't it better for me to build equity as opposed to making my landlord richer? Yes. But that's not always what's happening. Because when you get a 30-year mortgage and you're paying $3,000 a month, it's not $1,500 going to your bank and then $1,500 going to principal.
No, 80% is going towards
interest. In fact, more in the beginning. And so it's not for the first 15 to 20 years of a 30-year mortgage that more than half of your payment is going straight into your banker's pocket with interest. And then the other small percentage is going to your principal. And now we have to assume that you don't do a refinance, because if you refinance on year 8, well, now you start the process all over again. And so, again, I'm not against you owning a house. In fact, I would prefer you to own your house than rent it. The mistake that people make is I buy my house thinking that it's going to make me rich. So how about you buy a little bit bigger, a little bit nicer, because it's the biggest investment of your life. And when you think it like that, and I'm telling you, and I speak from experience, because I worked as a realtor. And in that sales training, what did they teach you? You are selling the best and biggest investment of somebody's life. Easy to get you to buy bigger when I'm selling you an investment, right? I'm not selling you an expense. Hey, Lewis, here's the biggest expense of your life. This is the biggest money pit hole you're going to have.
And he makes a good point, because the 401ks and all of these old ways institutions are collapsing in real time.
Do you ever fear missing out on your great legendary summer? Good news for you is that Nomadic Path will make your summer 100 billion times better and more legendary. With Retro Focus 85, you will save 20% of your entire order plus free shipping, and you get to enjoy your summer that you've been looking for a long time. Click the link in the description. I will see you on the website, and enjoy your summer shopping.
Makes a very, very good point on all of these things. And let me get this light on so that way you see me a little bit more. I do think we have to change the way that we actually do finances. I think it's totally important of what he actually said. I mean, he usually talks about making income as a I don't know, landlord or investor or anything as an investor in real estate. That channel actually talks about it all the time, but I think the biggest mistake that everybody is making I truly believe in 2026 and beyond, is that they rely too much on the 401ks and everything else. I think we need to change the way that we do retirement and the definition of retirement. I think these things are absolutely necessary, and it actually goes back to the guy in Yoshima that lived until 86. If he actually saw what is actually happening in today's America, what would he do differently? He's probably going to do what this guy is doing right now. Actually have longevity and get finances together and have a whole food, healthy diet, which is why I'm eating oranges, yogurt, anything that has a good source of vitamins and vitamins and antioxidants, whatever it is. Healthy meat and vegetables. Those things are very important. That's a whole foods thing. And currently my diet right now is going to be a mix of whole foods, grass-fed, and organic stuff / food and ingredients. It should be the same thing for the financial world. It should be the exact same thing, in my opinion. If we could get into the financial diet and actually cut out the waste, then I think we're going to see longevity go up for the very first time in probably a long time. So if the guy in Yoshima could do it, we can all do it as well.
I'm not going to sell.
Yeah,
I have to say, Lewis, this is the best investment. This is an investment for your kids.
Yeah, your family's going to have memories here for decades. Yeah,
and it makes sense. But when you start to do the math, you realize that maybe owning the house isn't as good of an investment as you originally thought. And so this is where now we start to realize maybe some of the things that I was taught was wrong. If you're willing to get over the hump, because sometimes we have that ego, and I had that too. But once you start to realize that, oh crap, I need to do something different, now you realize what I realized was everything that I was told was a lie. And I need to restart my learning. And it's difficult once you've built a degree, you built the job, you built that foundation. And now you're like, oh crap, I got to start over. But you're not starting over. What you're doing is now just shifting the direction. And now you can start to accelerate the path towards wealth, which will give you that true freedom. If you're an investor or want to be an investor and you want to see my investing strategy, I'll put together a brand new and free investing masterclass where I walk you through how you can start investing and find hidden investment opportunities before they hit the headlines. I'll even show you the exact framework that my firm and I use to research investment opportunities and find investment opportunities. It's a completely free masterclass, and when you sign up for the masterclass as a bonus, you're also going to get access to Market Briefs, which is my newsletter for investors. It's read by hundreds of thousands of investors every single morning to keep you up to date with what's happening in the economy. So if you want to get the Investing Masterclass and Market Briefs all for free, all you have to do is sign up, and I have that link for you down in the description. You know, if someone's watching or listening to this right now thinking their entire life has been lied to about money, finances, how to invest, if I do these things, then I'll be safe in the future. What would you say then are the 3 biggest money rules that wealthy people do that most people aren't following? Well, I think you can break it down into 3 steps because there's 3 stages of wealth. And I'm going to break it down into phase 1, getting the money. Yeah. Phase 2, growing the money. Phase 3, protecting the money. Phase 1, getting the money, is all about now, how are you going to just lay the foundation for your finances? How are you going to make money? And people say, well, what business should I start? What job should I get? I don't care. Do what you believe is right for you. Sometimes it's what you like. Sometimes it's not what you like. But you gotta figure out how you're going to earn money. Figure out how you're going to earn more money, and then create a system for your money. So here's a few basic rules. Number 1, if you have credit card debt, if you don't have $2,000 saved up for an emergency, you are in what I call the financial danger zone.
Yeah, it's a good point. A financial danger zone. If you don't have like an emergency fund or opportunity capital, you're screwed. Regardless if you're an investor, entrepreneur, content creator, or someone in the middle, or you're at a job, or you have everything else that you're trying to get with, you gotta have these things. And what he said right there is an excellent point, because the financial danger zone is a very dangerous one. It could be credit card debt, it could be financial ruin, could be a conflict of interest, could be anything at this point. If you don't get them sorted out by this time, you're cooked.
Now, I'm going to probably upset some of your listeners right now, Louis, but I'm going to do this because I want people to be better with money. I don't say this to make friends. If you have credit card debt, or if you don't have $2,000 saved up, you should not go and see the inside of a restaurant. You should not go on another vacation, and you should not have a Netflix subscription. Or go to Starbucks or... Yeah. All of those little expenses are destroying your finances. Now, why?
The good question is, will anybody listen to those advices? That's the real question. Chances are most will never do that, and they're just going to keep on spending because they have some sort of addiction.
Why am I saying no Netflix? It's not because of the $15 a month. It's because the average American is watching more.
Well, nowadays it's like 24 to 25 per month. Like nowadays it's even more expensive.
Than 2 hours. It's actually over 3 hours, but I like to say 2 hours. More than 2 hours of TV a day. And if you're broke with credit card debt, without $2,000, you don't have the luxury to watch TV. You don't have the luxury to. Yeah. You need to use that time to earn money or develop those skills to earn money. Now, the reason why I'm so aggressive about this is because let's assume now you got a little bit of cash saved up. You got $8,000 saved up in the bank right now. If you took the $8,000 today and you invested it, and you could get a, let's just say 20% return on your money for the next 40 years, you're not going to retire with $500,000.
If you enjoy videos like this, and you're actually interested in videos like this one that just happened recently, do me a favor, like and share and comment down below and subscribe to this channel right here and right now. With that in mind, I'll see you in the next video, Innovator.